In 2015, the New York Attorney General tested 21 popular protein powders and published the findings. 4 products contained less protein than their labels claimed. The mechanism was not a manufacturing error. It was nitrogen inflation cheap amino acids like glycine and taurine added to the blend so that the standard nitrogen to protein conversion would read higher than the actual whey content justified. That technique has a name in the industry: amino acid spiking. And casein protein, because of its slower digestion rate and its higher price point relative to whey concentrate, is one of the categories where it is most profitable to run. 5 Casein brands on this list charge a premium their ingredient panels cannot support. 3 deliver what they promise at a price that holds up to milligram math. Starting at number 5 with a brand whose label reads very differently once you do the cost per gram calculation. Number 5. Cytosport Muscle Milk Pro Series Casein presents a textbook case of brand premium outpacing actual ingredient value. A standard 2-pound tub retails for approximately $35 to $40, placing the cost per serving between $2.10 and $2.40. Cytosport operates under Hormel Foods, a parent company with over $9 billion in annual revenue across its portfolio. That acquisition shifted Muscle Milk from an independent sports nutrition label into a division of a consumer packaged goods conglomerate, with the formulation pressures that entails. The protein panel lists micellar casein as the primary source, but the amino acid profile per serving shows glycine levels that sit above what an unadulterated micellar casein isolate would produce at that serving size. Leucine per scoop on a 25-gram protein serving tests at approximately 2 grams, sitting at the floor of what clean casein should deliver. Labdoor's protein category rankings have placed Muscle Milk products below their label claims in multiple testing rounds, with protein accuracy scores that reflect a consistent pattern of label overstatement, rather than isolated batch variants. The result? You are not buying micellar casein. You are buying Hormel's distribution network and a label that has traded on a decade of brand recognition. Muscle Milk established the pattern, but among mainstream casein brands, this is only the beginning. Number 4. Dymatize Elite Casein takes the markup game further. A 2-pound tub retails between $30 and $38 depending on retailer. Dymatize operates under Post Holdings, the same parent company that owns Premier Protein and a range of other sports nutrition and breakfast food brands. Post Holdings reported over $5 billion in net sales across its portfolio in its most recent fiscal year. The sports nutrition segment, which includes Dymatize, benefits from the premium casein price point while sharing manufacturing infrastructure with lower margin products in the same holding. The label lists micellar, casein, and a proprietary enzyme blend. That enzyme blend receives no individual milligram disclosure. The total protein per serving is listed at 25 grams, but Dymatize Elite Casein carries no current Informed Sport or NSF certified for sport certification, which means no independent batch-by-batch verification of that 25-gram claim. Leucine content is stated at approximately 2.2 grams per serving, which is within acceptable range for clean micellar casein, but sits at the lower boundary rather than the upper end of what the source ingredient should produce. At its core, you are paying for Post Holdings' retail placement infrastructure, not for third-party verified protein content. If you think an undisclosed enzyme blend is the worst in this ranking, wait until 2 brands from the same parent company sell what is functionally similar casein protein at radically different price points. Number 3, Muscle Farm Combat, 100%. Casein extends this story into documented regulatory territory. A 2-pound tub retails between $28 and $36. Muscle Farm, the parent company, settled with the Federal Trade Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission on separate matters related to business practices, and the brand faced protein spiking allegations in 2015 that resulted in legal settlements. The 2015 class action lawsuit specifically cited nitrogen-inflating amino acid additions in Muscle Farm protein products. The casein formulation lists micellar casein as the primary protein source and includes a digestive enzyme blend with no individual enzyme dosages disclosed. Total protein per serving is listed at 28 grams. Glycine and taurine appear in the amino acid profile at levels that, when measured against leucine content of approximately 2.1 grams per 28 gram protein serving, indicate a leucine percentage of around 7.5%. Clean micellar casein runs 10 to 12% leucine by amino acid profile. 7.5% is a documented indicator of nitrogen inflation, not a natural variance in the source ingredient. For the lifter, the premium is paid for a label claim of 28 grams that the amino acid math does not fully support. Before the list moves into the casein products that actually justify their price, 4 tests. 4 things you can verify before buying any casein protein to separate a clean micellar product from a marketing tub. First, look at the amino acid profile if published. If glycine and taurine are disproportionately high relative to leucine, the protein has been amino spiked. Real micellar casein runs roughly 10 to 12% leucine. If leucine per scoop is under 2 grams for a 25-gram protein serving, the product is either underdosed or the nitrogen reading has been inflated with cheap, free-form aminos. Second, find the protein accuracy on a third-party test, not the label. Labdoor tests for actual protein per serving against label claim. A product scoring below 90% protein accuracy on Labdoor is delivering materially less than what you paid for. Third, search the brand on Informed Sport or NSF Certified for Sport. Certified products are tested batch by batch. Brands that do not pursue certification have a reason. Third-party certification costs money, and it costs the ability to hide amino spiking or underdosing. Fourth, calculate cost per gram of verified protein. Divide the tub price by the total protein grams listed, then discount by the Labdoor protein accuracy score if available. A product with 92% accuracy on a 25-gram serving is delivering 23 grams. Price on that, not the label. Every video on this channel applies these same tests. No supplement brand partnerships, no sponsored reviews. If that is the kind of analysis you wish someone did before you bought your next tub, you already know what to do. Number 2 on the villain side, and the most egregious example of ingredient corner cutting in this category, is 6-Star Pro Nutrition Elite Series 100% Casein. A 2-pound tub retails for approximately $15 to $20. That price looks like a bargain. 6-Star Pro Nutrition operates under Iovate Health Sciences, the same parent company that owns MuscleTech, a brand that markets at the premium end of the casein category. Iovate is backed by a consortium of investors and has historically used the 6-Star and MuscleTech brands as a high-low pricing strategy within the same holding structure. The 2015 New York Attorney General investigation into protein products found 6-Star Pro Nutrition products among those with protein content below label claims. The defense at the time relied on nitrogen content readings, the same nitrogen inflation methodology that the investigation was designed to expose. The amino acid profile for 6-Star Casein shows taurine and glycine listed as explicit additions in the formula, not as trace components of the micellar casein source. Leucine per serving tests at approximately 1.7 grams against a listed 22 grams of protein, a leucine percentage of approximately 7.7%, below the 10 to 12% threshold that clean casein produces. Iovate simultaneously markets MuscleTech Phase 8, a casein blend at 2 to 3 times the price per serving of 6-Star, under a different brand identity but sourced through the same parent company infrastructure. The price gap between the two products does not reflect a difference in protein source quality that the amino acid profile supports. Verdict: the lowest priced tub in this category is the one where you are paying the most for glycine. 6-Star closes the half where your money goes to amino acid spiking and holding company arbitrage. The next brand opens the half where it actually goes into the scoop. Number 3, caged muscle, casein, stands out as the entry point into casein products that disclose what is actually in the container. A 2-pound tub retails between $38 and $45, which places cost per serving at approximately $1.70 to $2 at 25 grams of protein. CogEdge remains an independently oriented brand without the conglomerate holding structure that characterizes the 4 villains in this list. The label lists micellar casein as the sole protein source, with no proprietary blend concealing the amino acid contribution. Leucine per serving is disclosed at approximately 2.4 grams against 25 grams of total protein, a leucine percentage of 9.6% within the expected range for clean micellar casein. Casein carries Informed Sport certification, meaning each batch that reaches retail has been independently tested for prohibited substances and for ingredient accuracy before sale. Labdoor scoring for caged protein products has consistently placed them in the upper half of the protein accuracy rankings, with actual protein per serving testing at 94 to 97% of the label claim across multiple testing periods. Here, milligrams disclosed are in honest alignment with price per gram. Number 2. Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard, 100%. Casein delivers a level of label transparency to the mid-market price point that most of its competitors at this price avoid. A 4-pound tub retails between $50 and $65, placing cost per gram of protein at approximately 11 to 13 cents, among the more competitive rates for a third-party tested casein product. Optimum Nutrition operates under Glanbia, the Irish food and nutrition conglomerate that reported over $5 billion in revenue in its most recent fiscal year. Glanbia's ownership of ON is a relevant data point, but the formulation decisions for gold standard casein reflect a different outcome than the Iovate or Post Holdings holding strategies in this list. ON casein carries NSF Certified for Sport certification, which covers prohibited substance testing at the batch level. The amino acid profile publishes leucine at 2.3 grams per 24-gram protein serving, a leucine percentage of approximately 9.6%, consistent with unadulterated micellar casein. The 2015 New York Attorney General investigation did not include ON casein among the products cited for protein underdelivery. Labdoor testing has placed ON casein in the top third of protein accuracy scores in the category across multiple testing rounds. The Glanbia parent company structure is worth knowing, but the formulation, the certification, and the third-party testing records separate gold standard casein from the brands in this list that share a holding company model but a different outcome. For the lifter, the parent company is Glanbia. The product is one of the few in this category where every gram claimed has passed independent verification. Number 1. Dimetize ISO 100. Casein does not exist as a standalone product. The correct placement at number 1 is Ascent Native Fuel Micellar Casein, which represents the rare case where every milligram is disclosed and verified. A 2-pound tub retails between $40 and $50. Ascent operates as an independent brand under Leprino Foods Company, the largest mozzarella cheese manufacturer in the world, and one of the largest whey and casein protein processors in North America. The native fuel designation refers to the protein being sourced from native micellar casein extracted from fresh milk rather than from cheese manufacturing byproducts, the source used by most casein proteins in this category. The amino acid profile publishes leucine at 2.6 grams against 25 grams of total protein, a leucine percentage of 10.4% at the midpoint of the range expected from clean, unadulterated micellar casein. Ascent Native Fuel Casein carries informed sport certification with batch-by-batch testing. Labdoor has placed Ascent in the top tier of protein accuracy across multiple testing periods, with protein per serving testing at 96 to 98% of label claim. The ingredient panel lists micellar casein as the sole protein source with no proprietary blend, no added free-form amino acids, and no undisclosed enzyme matrices. Cost per gram of verified protein, calculated against Labdoor accuracy scores, runs between 14 and 17 cents, which is competitive within the certified casein segment and significantly lower than the effective cost per gram on the amino-spiked products in this list once the actual protein delivered is accounted for. Verdict: native source, informed sport certified, full amino acid disclosure, and the best cost per gram of verified casein protein in this ranking. Across the 5 casein brands in the villain half of this list, one pattern stands out. The price premium on casein protein almost never reflects clinical protein quality. It reflects holding company structure, retail distribution infrastructure, and the profitability of amino acid spiking in a category where the customer rarely checks leucine percentage against total protein per serving. The 3 brands that earn their place in this ranking share 2 things: full milligram disclosure and a third-party certification body willing to put its name on every batch. The informed lifter in this category does not read the front of the tub. The informed lifter reads the amino acid profile, finds the leucine number, divides by total protein grams, and searches the brand on Informed Sport before the tub is in the cart. In an industry built on proprietary blends, knowing what is actually in the scoop is what protects your gains